Herkese merhaba arkadaşlar. Ben Amerika oyunlarında arkadaşlar. Bugünkü oyunumuz ne? Mavi oyunlar.com'dan diz ameliyatı. İlginç. Lan ses çok şey. Bir dakika sesini bir saniye. Sesi bayağı yüksekmiş lan. Kızı geçen sefer de çocuğum veriyor dostumuzun biri yorum atmış. Demiş ki abi oyunun sesi çok yüksek demiş. Onu kısman gerekir demiş tavsiyem olarak. Teşekkür ettim dedim ki oyunu kıstım. Yani o sesini kapadım normalde. Ama saçma sapan işler.
Welcome to virtual knee surgery. This activity will show you the process of replacing a failing knee joint.
İnşallah
Are
bunu
you
kısabilirim.
ready? Today, our
İnşallah.
patient is a 76-year-old man. It is mandatory to check the patient's vital signs before beginning surgery. An anesthesiologist in the operating room performs this step. If the patient's vital signs are not in the normal ranges, we will not proceed with the surgery. Using the healthy person's vital sign chart as a reference, can our patient undergo surgery today?
Ne dediğini hiç anlamadım ama herhalde yes diyeyim ben daha iyi olur.
It looks like surgery will proceed as planned. Take a moment to look at our patient's x-rays. Which knee do you think needs surgery?
Hangi bacağım kırık diyor. Pardon dizi. Bence bu.
Sorry, his right knee appears fairly normal. His left knee appears worn down and lacking cartilage, which
Oha.
is likely the cause of his pain. The nurse has begun prepping our patient for surgery by placing an IV needle in his right hand.
Bence oyunda
Now
hile
it's
var.
your turn. Use the marker and write your initials on the proper knee to be operated on. This may seem silly, but it's an actual step taken to prevent wrongs. The anesthesiologist administers drugs through the IV and through a mask over the patient's face. What function should these drugs perform? Good work. Great. Nope. Fantastic. After the patient is unconscious, and before the first incision is made, we need to establish a sterile field around the surgical area. A series of sterile drapes isolates the surgical field from the rest of the patient's body. A tourniquet is applied to cut off blood flow, which allows a clearer view of the surgical field during
Dayı
surgery.
anladık oraları hadi.
To kill the bacteria
Delirtme
on the
adamı.
patient's leg, clean it in a betadine solution. This scrubbing process will limit the chance of bacterial infection.
Ya şimdi öyle oldu ama değil mi? Yavşak. Herhalde böyle bir şey yapıyorum ben ama.
Betadine scrub is applied 2 more times, followed by the final arrangement of sterile drapes.
Ayağı da mı keseceğiz?
Why do you think knee surgery involves so many drapes? Use the sterile marker to draw the location for our incision, and don't forget to mark the perpendicular lines too. Typically, the incision line is 6 to 7 inches long.
Benim zaten yazım da güzel değildir hiçbir zaman.
What purpose do you think the perpendicular lines serve? Now for the incision. Take the scalpel and cut the skin following your markings. Let's use the Bovie pencil to cauterize the veins. This will help decrease blood flow into the surgical field. The rake retractors fold the skin and tissue out of the way, exposing our patient's knee. To operate, we need the patient's knee elevated and bent so the bones are fully exposed. Now the leg is at the proper angle. Use the rongeur to remove the anterior cruciate ligament, or ACL, the meniscus, and any bone spurs that may be lurking about. Are you a good sculptor?
Abi
It's time
resmen
to
kemiği
shape the
kesiyor ya.
femur,
Yok böyle bir şey
tibia,
ya.
and patella, so the new knee components fit properly. A hole must be drilled inside the femur to set up the distal femoral cutting jig and alignment device. The jig is put into position and helps ensure that the cuts made to the bone are exactly what are needed. Now hammer in the pins to hold the jig.
Abisi bak ayaklarınızı dizinize dikkat
We
edin
can
ha.
now remove
Diz
the
önemli
alignment
bir şey.
device. The pins will hold the jig firmly in place. Now for some real bone shaping. Use the bone saw to cut the bone so it is prepared for the new femoral component.
Dayı dizin amına koydun yani affedersin de yani.
Another cutting jig, along with the bone saw, allows us to finish shaping the femur. Let's move on and shape the tibia. The
Şekle
tibial
bak
cutting
nasıl
jig
diz lan
is
öyle.
aligned with the big toe and the highest point of the tibia. This will ensure the leg is properly aligned after surgery. Secure the jig in place with more pins.
Ney? Ha.
Use the bone saw to cut off the top of the tibia and prepare it for the new tibial components.
Abi bunu yapanın maaşı herhalde yüksektir. Kesinlikle.
Now we'll use the patellar cutting jig and bone saw to remove the back of our patient's patella.
Ha? Yok artık. Bunu mu şey yapacak? Abi yok ya. Oha ya.
Holes in the tibia and patella are drilled and chiseled out,
Dizin
which
amına
will
koydu
enable the new
resmen ya.
components to attach properly. Time to place the trial components. First, attach the femoral trial component.
Bir dakika ne diyor? Formal.
Attach the metal tray trial component to the tibia. Insert the plastic trial spacer into the metal tray component.
Ha, dizine şey takıyormuşuz, metal bir şey. Ben diyorum bu lavuklar niye böyle bir şey yapıyor? Bir dakika bunu söyledim yok. Plastik pardon.
Lastly, attach the patellar trial component. Why do you think the two tibial components are inserted separately instead of as one unit? Range of motion tests to assure proper knee alignment and successful prosthetic fit. Knees aren't meant to bend sideways, so it's important to determine whether there is a gap
Arkadaşın
or
her şey
space
böyle bir şey
between
mi
the
oldu yani?
femoral and tibial components.
Çok ilginç.
There's no noticeable gap, so this knee is a good fit. Why do you think there are so many steps taken to assure prosthetic trial components? Now let's remove them and prepare for the permanent components by applying a special cement compound that binds metal and plastic to bone. A scrub technician has mixed up a batch of cement for you to use.
Dayı sen niye çıkardın ki şimdi sen onu ya? Allah Allah. Böyle iş olmaz ki ya.
With the cement
Ha
in place,
yapıştırıcı
the final
koymuşuz.
components are permanently attached to the knee.
Ha,
Any excess cement
iyi
will be
otursun
scraped
diye.
off and thrown away.
Tamam.
Lay the
Anladım
leg
mevzuyu.
flat on the table so the new knee components put pressure on each other. This allows the bone and components to bond with the cement.
0 derece diyorsun ya dostum, 0 derece getirim hani.
The cement can
Ha,
take
tamam.
anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to harden. We perform our range of motion test. Our patient's new knee is looking good. Let's close up the incision. First, suture the deep tissue and fat layers back together. For closing the surface incision, you have a choice between
Oy,
the stapler
korkunç bir
and the
şey ya
suture.
bu. Bildiğimiz şey bu.
No,
Kapatıyor.
the primary difference between these two methods of closing the incision. We couldn't ask for a better participant. You've done an excellent job. Are you sure this is your first total knee replacement? Our patient will remain in the hospital for
Dayı
3
işin daha
days,
bitmedi mi?
followed by 3 to 8 weeks of physical therapy. Because of this surgery, our patient will have significantly reduced pain and increased mobility. Before you leave, let's think about the life of the new knee components. What kind of forces do you think the new knee will need to withstand? No, nope, nice job. People average about
Sırayla
5,000
gidelim
steps
her
per day.
zaman.
Our patient's new prosthetics will withstand a great deal of force for 36 million steps or more. I'm off to check on another patient while the OR team prepares the room for the next surgery. You've been a great help. See you next time.
Adam yalnız hala konuşuyor abi. Neyse bugünlük de burada keselim. Sayfamızı beğenin, kanalımıza abone olun. İyi günler, iyi seyirler. Hadi bakalım.